talking to?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would that be one-on-one, or would that be per niche, or?
What do you mean the customization?
Yeah,
That should be for every niche. Any industry you go into, you're gonna want to make it as personal as possible.
yep. That makes sense. So, and so you do cold emails. Like, where do you get your leads from to reach out to offer them SMMA clients?
Um,
Like
you can
Facebook
hire someone
groups?
off of Fiverr for $5, and they can get you a pretty big list.
Okay. Yeah. So you're actually literally buying email lists, and then are you using software like MailChimp or Aweber or something to cold market?
And I do them all organically, just manually.
Wow.
I do
Okay.
it all manually.
So you just
Because I
go
was only
through the
reaching out to
list.
like 20 people.
Sorry?
I was only reaching out to like 20 people in each campaign.
Okay. Yep. So you pretty much just smash out like 20 emails a day or something like that and try to book some
Exactly.
appointments. And do you go through the list to find business names that you feel like, oh yeah, that one looks pretty cool, or do you just fire them away, like, or do you
I
do a
mean,
bit of
I do,
research?
after I get the prospecting list, I go through and like qualify them for myself. So I make sure that each person is the right person I want to talk to.
I see. So yep. So you go through, like, you find their email address and like all of the details that they have on their list. You can find their website. You can find out like what it is that they actually do, and then from there, then so you're only hitting up the leads that are qualified to work with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, sweet.
Exactly.
Okay. Um, and and how long have you been struggling with, like, are you, would you consider yourself like depressed or anxious or any of those things that you were talking about, or pretty well
I
just
mean,
like lonely and trying to hustle hard and
those are just things that I personally feel like every person who's trying to start their own business, they go through those moments of like
yeah,
deep anxiety or depression or anything like that.
yeah,
So that was just just more to like a more general type of post. But yeah, definitely like the loneliness thing. That's like a majority of people who are starting something.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows. Hey, like sometimes you'll be waking up at fucking 6 a.m. and then working all night, like, and you'll smash like 10, 12, 15 hour days, like just sitting at home because you feel really good and you're like getting shit done and you're like, setting up systems and like all of that sort of thing. But, and then every now and then, like, you'll just get a day where you don't want to do anything and you feel like you've been doing nothing. You feel like, oh fuck, all this progress that I've made so far, like, this is all bullshit. Like, what am I doing? I should just go apply for a job. And like, there's so much, there's so much self doubt that
Exactly.
I've had to deal with that yeah, it can get really difficult sometimes, man. It's I think what you've done and just writing a status to say, hey bros, this is what I'm doing and this is what I go through. Like, I actually sort of didn't really recognize that other people doing what I'm doing are actually feeling the same way. Like, I don't like it seems obvious, but you see on the internet, everyone's like, I used to be fucked and I used to struggle with this and this and this, and now I'm fucking awesome and you should buy my products. Like, so,
Exactly. It's all
so
a false statement.
yeah, like they don't go really uncut and raw into their pain and what they actually did have to deal with to get there, because they're trying to sell something that it does work, but it's a lot more
It's
work than
true.
they
Yeah,
make it out
exactly.
to be.
The products work,
Yeah,
but like a mindset
yeah,
and like the way that you think about everything is really, really important. So if you go into it without the proper mindset, then it doesn't work because then you have like those doubts and stuff like that.
yeah. I definitely agree, man. It's it's kind of like they're selling it like as if it's like a bit of a get rich quick, land your first client, and even the stuff that is not SMMA, that it took me you're so lucky that you found SMMA when you did. I've been trying to do this since I was 18, looking at email marketing, look at affiliate marketing and MLM schemes and pyramid schemes and like, fuck it. I'm sure you went through all of that as well, but
My biggest thing was I went through drop shipping.
yeah, drop
But
shipping. That's the fucking biggest one. Hey, like everyone sells drop shipping as if it's like, yeah, you can set up your store in 5 hours and start getting paid forever.
it was definitely. I didn't make my first 10 grand profit from drop shipping for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
You know, but it's definitely it's all a mindset. Yeah,
Yeah.
people can't go into it reading into bullshit. Like, yeah, the business models work. Drop shipping is always going to work. It's e-commerce. It's never going to die.
Yeah.
There's all these different business models and stuff, but it's the mindset what is important. Otherwise you're going to be trying to hop from drop shipping to MLM to affiliate marketing, then MMA, all sorts of stuff. You have a mindset to stick to one thing and make that one thing yours. That's where true growth comes from.
Yep. Oh, that's actually that hits the nail on the head, bro. Because that's exactly what I was doing. Was kind of trying to make this work, and then it didn't. And then one thing that I did get to work is Fiverr. So I was doing video production. But the thing is, like, people didn't really know sort of what to do with those videos at the end of it. So I realized that the product I was actually selling wasn't as valuable as the amount of work, the amount of time that it takes to make one. The video looks amazing, but then when they post it, they're getting like fuck all engagement. So I decided to do, like some digital marketing stuff and try to get into that. Because when I started with drop shipping and MLM, that was purely to make money. So I didn't want to run a business. I didn't want to provide a quality service. I just wanted to make cash. But with SMMA, it's actually about results, return on investment, providing a service that actually does generate results for my client. That is like a legitimate win-win. And this is the first one that I've actually really found. Because like even trying to find a niche or a product in dropshipping, you want to sell something that you want to sell, like, like some cool shit. But nobody wants to buy that cool shit because you have to solve a problem as a business. So you either have to make a brand new product that's innovative and new and fresh and fantastic that people are going to impulse buy. Otherwise, they've already seen it before, like... so there's a lot of that, like, and I was definitely jumping around between different, like, business models and that makes it really difficult. So how long into your online journey did you find SMMA, and like, have you ever had a job before? Like, did you go into the workforce and then decide this is fucked? Like, I don't want to be doing this for my whole life, or did you know, like, and you just went full ham?
I would say within like 6 months of me starting, me wanting to start a business. Well, the thing is that I've always known about SMMA. I just didn't know if I wanted to do this or drop shipping.
Yeah.
So I've always known about it. And then after I made my first couple grand profit with drop shipping, I realized that it wasn't a sustainable business model, especially the way that I was doing it, where it was just, hey, this product is trending, make a store around this trending product and try to ride the wave as long as possible and then try to find another one. Best way to do it is to brand and have like a brand or like a product that you strictly sell. And then, yeah, I've had a job before. I've had many jobs actually. I just get fired or I quit them all because it was just never my thing.
Yeah. Like I couldn't hold a job for anywhere longer than 6 months.
6 months, bro. I was in a job for like 2 and then I would stop showing up.
Yep. So quite a lot of them, like, I would drop off in like a week or maybe 1 or 2 months, and then the maximum I could ever slog out a job was 6 months. And I think I worked for 3 different jobs for 6 months. Like I said, man, I'm like 23, so I got like 5 years worth of just working in bullshit jobs and stuff like that, and like doing part-time, like I was doing online stuff part-time, really trying to make my first dollar on the internet, because as soon as you can make $1 off the internet, you just do that over and over and over again until either that income stream dies or until you're ready to expand into another line of business as well. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like it sounds like, you know, despite our age gap, like we're pretty well at the same point in our business, but you're about 6 months ahead of me. I really only when I found you on those Facebook groups, that was pretty much like 1 week after I saw Quentin and Yovan's course. So I watched their free webinar, and then pretty much just decided, like, man, this is exactly the product that I can link with what I've already been doing, so I can sell to my existing customers, and then I can like upsell, and then I can sell to new customers and provide my old service, like the videos, along with the Facebook ads. So I was like, this is hands down the business model that I'm going to actually make work, you know, because I've been trying all this other stuff for ages. And then, yeah, then I ended up getting onto you, and bro, like, I just want to hear, like, as much sort of, like, in-depth stuff about, you know, what are the main, like, maybe 3 things that you sort of struggled with, you know, of course, slogging it out on your own and doing it all by yourself when all of your friends are out drinking and just having a job and having money and spending money, and you're here, you know, like, slogging it out. But what are, like, a couple of other things that you found you really had to overcome to be able to get this to work for you?
Really, my biggest thing was always just myself. Honestly, like, you know, actually working, because I'm a really lazy person. So my whole thing was, I knew that no matter what the business was going to be successful. I already know one.
Yep.
There was no way it couldn't. You can't not become successful in SMMA unless you don't do the proper work.
Yep.
And that's the majority of people who don't do the proper outreach or the proper prospecting.
Yep.
You know, then they come to me, I coach them on that specific thing, and then they get good at it, and then boom, there's no more problems. You know what I mean? So anyone can go and make out like an extra $5,000 a month. Making your first $5K a month from residual is easy in SMMA, right?
Yep.
It becomes an issue when you want to go from 5K to 10K, and then from 10K to 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of friends and stuff, my friends all are always pretty supportive. I've never really been the job type, so when it came to starting a business, it was just another thing, you know, that they were just, you know, they said, yeah, I don't know, we just never really like a problem. My friends are all pretty chill.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's good that you've actually picked your friends, you know, to be like the type of people that, you know, even if they're not doing it themselves, they're like, whoa, that's fucking really cool, you know, that you're trying to do this thing. So yeah, that's really good. It's been a struggle for me, man. Like, I've got a lot of friends that pretty much have told me, like, what are you doing? You know, you should just go and get a job. And then I've got a couple of other friends that are sort of freelancing as well. And, yeah, like, it's one of those ones, man. Are you still at the gym, bro?
Oh yeah. I'm about to finish out this last workout.
Nice.
And then go back up to my apartment.
Yeah, sweet. So you live in whereabouts do you live? In America somewhere?
Which state?
You live in America somewhere, yeah?
Yeah, I live in Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about, like, what are the schools like over there? What are they teaching you proper business stuff like in school? Is that why you're like
Hell no.
super keen on this, or like
Hell
you're
no.
trying to break away from the norm over there as well, or
Yeah, I gotta break away from it.
yeah.
The whole thing out here is go to high school, go to college, you get a job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's a pretty global sort of mentality, unfortunately, that you sort of need to go and have 5 years of education and get like $100,000 worth of debt in order to actually get a job. And that's just so bullshit. Like to even go and study for that long just to go and get a job at the end of it, you're not building anything that's actually that's actually yours. You're getting trapped into working for somebody else for your whole life. That person, if you work for them until you're 50 years old and then they fire you, then what have you got to show for it? Like you've just made all of this money. You might have a house, you might have a car and a family and shit, but you don't have a business that's your own that you can sell a business when you retire. Or like if you're building an agency yourself, if you get this agency and you have employees and it's actually operating consistently and its workflow is smooth enough that it runs itself, you could sell the business when you're 30 years old, bro, and just clock it in for like $12 million and then
Yeah.
go and retire on investment properties and shit like that. So like it sort of depends, like how much fun you're actually having in the business as well. Like, and I'm sure that it's fun for you because you're probably really techie like me, making ads and doing stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it is that lazy thing, isn't it? Like, I think for me, I really didn't want to go and have a job and work for somebody else. Like, the thing is as well, like, if I get $25 an hour, there's a guarantee that I'm making more money for the business than I am for myself, because they wouldn't be paying me 25 an hour if I wasn't making them way more than that. Otherwise, they would be losing money, yeah? So I'm actually sitting there working to make somebody else money when in reality I could just be charging my own clients. I could be, it's a lot more work to do the business owner thing, the entrepreneurial thing. It is actually a lot more work to get it set up in the first place. But with technology these days, you can set it up in a particular way if you have the means and the funds, for like Zapier and things like automation, then you can actually get it to run itself. You set it up once and test it and set it up and test it and set it up and test it until it's working consistently, and then you can pretty much hands off and just watch it go, which is really cool. So can you tell me a little bit about the ads that you're running, and maybe an example of one of your customers, like and what niche they're in, and how you sort of ran the ad and how you did the targeting, and how you're actually producing leads, like, and how you're actually getting those leads across to the customer and getting the result?
Um,
Or is
well,
that a little
during my
bit too much?
Hmm.
I got to pay for that information.
No, it's cool, bro. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to get into the program, uh, that's something we could talk about. We can help you get your business up and running the right way.
Yeah, for
Get some
sure.
traction. But most of my clients are real estate agents.
Hmm.
So usually they're looking to sell homes. So I'm always getting them like buyer leads. Uh,
Yep.
and then what was the other thing next?
Yeah, like sort of how do you, so your niche is real estate. How do you sort of hone down your target market? Do you get the customer to, so do you get the customer, your client, to send you a list of like suburbs and to send you all the target market, or do you go into their Facebook page, into their analytics, and do you find out all of this stuff yourself and just like they don't have to do anything? Or are you working with the client hand in hand to create the ad for them, with them or for them, sort of?
Um, Sorry, I'm tired.
No, you're a good
Uh,
man.
I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. So when it comes to actually generating leads, the way that that usually works is, uh, so if they have properties, so majority of agents have properties in the same location.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, or they have, you know what I mean? So it's, so basically what it would be is just when we run, so whatever properties that they want to sell, we, we're going to create ads for specific, you know, for each house that they want to generate leads for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if they have 6 homes, they have 3 in this area, and in the other area, we're going to run, you know, ads for all of those properties, or we're going to run ads for, you know, just one of the properties, depending on what the client works. I mean, what the client wants to do and how much I'm charging that specific client. You know, because the more ads, the more work.
Mm-hmm. And what's your sort of like minimum? What's your minimum requirement for ad spend for a client to work with you?
Minimum, I would say between $500 and $1,000.
Okay, so you're getting $1,000 per month on ad spend minimum,
Yep,
as well as your management fee for the creation.
is 1,500, no less.
Yep. So your absolute bare minimum package is $2,500 a month,
Yes, that's including their
in,
ad spend
including
and
the
my
ad spend.
actual,
Yeah.
right. Which I
Um.
don't include that all of them as one. That, those are, you know, those are two separate things. So I don't, you don't include those in your monthly thing. So if
Yep.
your client is signing on for 1,500, all they're paying you is 1,500, not the extra money for the ad spend.
Yep. Yep. Um. And how does the conversation go? Sort of like, so you're selling them on your service for the ad creation only. And
Mm.
obviously, you know, everything that's included in that, like the automating the leads over to their. Do you send their leads to SMS or to the phone? Sorry,
Email.
SMS or email?
Yep, it's usually email.
Email, yeah. Okay. So, and what CRM are you using to extract the leads out of Facebook?
Um, well, you can use the Facebook lead form. That's one,
Uh huh.
or you can use Lead Owl, which is a really popular one, or Zapier, which is the most popular one.
Yep. So yeah, just like pretty much. So you don't use the client's CRM. You use your own CRM, and you send over the leads automatically, like you just set it up. Or
Well,
if they want,
some
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, so some people actually have CRMs
Uh huh.
where we can just literally send their leads directly from our CRM to our from, you know, let's say Zapier or something. We
Mhm.
can send them straight from there to their email. Other people, you know, we just send them, you know, a Google Excel sheet, you know,
Yep.
of their lead, or you know, with the Google with the Facebook forms, we can just download the forms and then just email over to them.
Yep. Yep. So in the back end of a lead capture ad, excuse me, in the back end of a lead capture ad, you can just download the leads as an Excel document.
Exactly.
So you
Yep.
just send
Exactly.
that over to them to start off with, um, like while you're actually testing out the ad and seeing if it works and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then you automate it once the leads are rolling through like really
Yeah, once
consistently.
we find the ad that works, then it becomes sort of hands off, meaning that the ads are at this point just running and we're managing them.
Yep. Okay. And so for one client, let's say they put $1,000 into ad spend, um, would you split that budget across multiple ads, or is
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
definitely,
And
definitely.
how many, does it just depend on the client, like how many ads you're going to be running for them?
Yeah, it definitely depends. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so with real estate, you want to get leads per property, but
Exactly. For
with a
individual property, exactly.
yeah, but then with a different niche, like if you had a fitness, like a personal trainer who was selling like a package, like a contract package, then
Hmm.
you'd only really do one or two ads, maybe. Would that be right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Unless they had a bigger ad budget, and then we would do, okay, we're gonna run two. we're gonna run, or if they have a bigger ad budget, then we can go and we do an all-around marketing thing where we would do YouTube ads, we would do Facebook ads, we would do Google ads, stuff like that. But
Yep.
just for like a regular client, it would just most likely be Facebook ads, and then we would run as many split tests, as many ads as it takes to get the one that works. And once you find an ad that works, and it's just let the ad run, and then whenever the ad starts to slow down, we tweak it and we split test again.
I see. So you're split testing it, and you're changing little tweaks like target market and stuff like that to get it to the point that it works consistently. And then after that point, you're pretty much just going in once a month and just double checking and just optimizing that it's still going to do what it's doing.
Exactly.
That's
the hope. Yep, exactly.
that's really
Literally
really
rinse and
cool.
repeat.
And man, that's fucking awesome. That's actually like this conversation, like you've given me more information about how the actual system works and how I can actually get it up and running than that free webinar, man. Like that was really really good, jam packed with a whole bunch of really good information and a script on how to land these clients. So far, though, like, I've only really been successful when I was offering a trial. And I've been sort of asking around as well because my packages are like, the trial is for, it's like $100 setup for me to make the ad, and then it's $100 in ad spend. But the thing is, I'm not actually sure that if I was to take these people's $100 and actually click on go, then I'm not sure if $100 would actually produce enough leads for them to make a sale, for them to make.
Well, it's pretty. What niche is it in?
So one of them is a property investment broker,
Okay.
and one of them is a wedding planner, like a event manager.
Okay.
So yeah, they're
So we know right from the get go that one lead would be more than you know what I mean. One
Yeah.
lead is worth well over I would say a couple $100. So I
Yeah.
would say between $500 and $1,000, no less.
Okay.
Meaning that if you have $100 to work with, that means that what you're going to get to do is you're going to get to run a nice split test for $10 a day. So you're going to be putting $5 into each ad, and then very depending on how good you are with the actual marketing, what's going to end up happening is in 3 to 4 days, maybe even a week, so 7 days, you're going to see which ad is generating you the most leads. Immediately, because your budget's so tight, the second that you see that which ad works the best, and within Facebook you can actually set it up where Facebook will automatically kill the ad that isn't performing as well as the other ads.
Wow.
So immediately once you find the ad that is not working, you cut it, kill it, and you put $10 a day strictly into that one ad. And because you know it works, you'll be able to generate quite a bit of leads. Quite a bit of leads with only for only $10 a day.
Yep. And so you reckon that's so if I had $100 for a 1 month budget, would you do like $3 or $4 a day, or would you do $10 a day just for 10 days?
In ads?
In ads, yeah, and then just tell them that
So-
it took a month.
Your whole entire thing, right? So for $100, you're going to get 10 days of $10 ads,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The first, I would say 4 to 5 days, so that first week, that first business week, you're going to be split testing the hell out of your ads. You're going to have 2 ads running.
Oh, so that you have $5 per day in 2 ads.
Exactly. So what a split test is one campaign, and within that one campaign, you have 2 different ad sets that are the same ad, but they're one of them is different from the other. So then you're split testing. So then what's going to happen is Facebook is going to run both of those ads for $5 a day within the same campaign.
Yep.
And then you're going to be able to see which ad is outperforming the other ad, right? So then once you find the ad that works, what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate it, and then you're gonna stop the split test, right? And then you're gonna put the other 10 back into that one specific ad because you know that it works. So now let's not waste any more money split testing. Let's put the full 10. That means you're gonna have about between you're gonna have about 6 days left, or wait a second. You're gonna have about 6 days left of an ad that you know is running.
Mm.
Running successfully.
Yeah.
And then that means that you're gonna pretty much be able to guarantee that you get at least 1 to 2, even 6 leads. You know what I mean? And for either one of those niches, for you to bring them 6 leads for like $100, it's more than enough to say like, hey, look, if you were to put $500, even $300 a month into this, just look at what we can do.
Yep. That's enough result out of their $100 to, like. So how do you put a value on the leads without saying, I'll just get you leads and you make sales? Like, how do you actually put like a figure value on the lead itself?
Well, that's so. For example, in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't. Well, look, the thing about it is you don't base it off of leads. You never sell like leads. You sell, the LTV of that lead.
Yeah, the
So for
return on
me, if I
investment.
was to generate you 4 leads, as a real estate agent, I know that each one of those leads is worth, about $5,000, because if any one of them was to purchase, that one deal would be worth that amount. So you can put a figure on a customer by not putting it, on just what you think, but if that person was to close, what would that deal be worth?
Yep.
Okay, that means that one customer to them is worth X amount.
Yep. So my wedding planner, her like minimum package or like her ideal package that she wants to be selling is like $3,000. So if I was to give her like 6 leads, could I actually say like these 6 leads, they're probably worth about $3,000, because if you were to close one out of 6, you're going to make about $3,000.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
wow.
what you're gonna tell her is like, listen, the way this is why this is the so we're talking about pricing, right, with her. Let's get back to that conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's say her name is Jane.
Mm-hmm.
So look, Jane, basically what we're going to be doing is running these campaigns, and we're going to generate new leads based on this. What we're going to charge is $1,500. She's going to respond, okay, well, where does that number come from? Okay, well, based off of our free trial that we ran, we're able to see that at minimum we were able to generate you, let's just say 6 leads, right? For only $100.
Yep.
Out of 6 people, if one of those people close, that means that one deal is worth $3,000. That means that for every lead I bring to you is a potential $3,000.
Yep.
That means that if I was to bring you 6 and you were to close one, that means that you made double, the amount that you spent on me. But
Yep.
we know is that because we only had 6, we only had $100, we were only able to generate you 6. So we know that at minimum this is what we can generate you. So let's just say we were to kick it up to $300 to $500. Now we're talking, 10 plus leads a month. So out of 10, if you were to close 2, that's 6,000. We're only charging you 1,500.
Yep.
So realistically, we're undervaluing ourselves, which we know we're doing, because we know that in the next, 6 to 8 months, you're going to want to pay us 3 times what you're paying us now, because you're seeing the amount of leads we're generating you.
Yep. Oh, that makes heaps of sense, man. So you're selling them on their own product that they're already running a business. We're going to provide you the opportunity to increase your business, the opportunity to scale your business. And so it's actually worth far more than $1,500 per month. It's actually worth potentially tens of thousands per month, depending on how many sales you're going to be making from these phone numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm about to get on the elevator really quick, so I'm gonna give you a call back as soon as I get to my floor.
Yeah, you're all good, man. Too easy.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, bro.
I'm gonna cut it back.
All right, I'll speak to you soon. Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect.
Yeah, sweet. So do you wanna? I guess like we're probably around halfway. We've already spent like maybe 40 minutes or something like that. I actually after the first like 3 to 4 minutes of our conversation, I started to see that like we actually do have like a good amount of stuff to talk about. So I hit record anyway. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post it anywhere, bro, but I'll edit it together so that you've got a copy as well. And you could actually chop it up in a certain way to make it look like a coaching call, and then you could show people. And so I don't know if that's gonna help or not, but I can send you a copy of this chat too.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Okay,
Uh,
well,
Um,
that's perfect.
yeah, sweet man. Yeah, so did you have anything that you sort of wanted to talk about? Like I remember I sort of did hit you up in regards to just like the spiritual, emotional and mindset side of being an entrepreneur. So maybe we'll jump back into that side of things a little bit. Um but yeah, like I guess like sort of floors open to you, man. Like what sort of made you wanna reach out and start chatting with people about this sort of thing?
Well, what made me want to start writing about it?
Yeah,
Mm,
like obviously you're feeling like a little bit sort of alone in what you're doing, like personally, or is it just that you've noticed that's just like a sort of like a trait or like a byproduct of actually being an entrepreneur, like for most people?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay, perfect. I switched over to the computer so it'd be a better connection.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, all good. No problems.
Yep.
Um,
So, what was the last thing you asked me?
yeah, so you made a status about the mindset, the spirituality, the mindset, and just like like the sort of um yeah, like that the other side, the behind the scenes of what it means to be an entrepreneur and how much work is actually involved in it. Like, have
Right.
you just noticed that in yourself and you wanted to talk with somebody about that, or is that something that you've noticed in like other friends and other entrepreneurs that you've met? It's like a pretty overall like symptom of being an entrepreneur is that you're kind of like a bit of a lone wolf in that sense.
I mean, it's something that because the whole entrepreneur thing now, especially today with young people being able to make a lot of money, the
Hmm.
biggest thing with people is they always try to keep up an appearance of everything is perfect and there's no worries and I'm making six figures and I don't straight it's just stuff like that and I know
Yeah.
personally from going from literally $0 to making my first 10,000 to making my first X amount that there's like a lot of in betweens, and
Yep.
no one ever talks about the in between.
Yeah. See, and
Yeah.
that's exactly where I was getting to. Excuse me again. Been a bit sick lately. Um, yeah, I've been getting up to those in between points, right? Because there's the whole promise of moving out of like your job world into the online world where you're this laptop lifestyle and you can work on the beach and fucking like do whatever you want, like go wherever you want and travel and like do all of this sort of stuff.
Exactly.
But like the yeah, you're exactly right in that nobody actually really talks about. Well, they do. They say, "Oh, it's going to be hard work, and you got to have the mindset, and you got to be dedicated." But what does that actually mean when somebody says you got to have the right mindset to do this job to create a business? What does that actually mean, bro? Like what?
You have to be willing to 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 hit a point where it's like even if you're making a bunch of money, you hit a low.
Yep.
There's always a low. You always hit a low. You can hit a low and then be making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? I actually work with a couple of people who are generating $2 million. Was it $2 million per month in revenue?
Whoa.
8% profit margins roughly. That same company is estimated to hit $11 million within this per month within the next what did they say, like 5 or 6 months, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just you just got to be willing to get to that point and come back. Because if you stay there, you're never gonna get out of it, and then you're never gonna actually go and you know you, You can only be so low in productive before you're so low and unproductive. Does that make sense?
Yep, yep, yep. That makes sense, bro.
You know what I mean? You could be, kind of sort of depressed or whatever, but still work every day and work hard and everything. But eventually, if that mindset never leaves, it's going to go into, okay, well, what's the point of doing this? And then it's going to stop doing everything, you know?
Mm,
And then it's just not going to work. And I know that I've personally been in many, stages in my career where I've wanted to just go and get a regular job
yep.
because it's easy. You go here, you work, you make money.
Yeah.
Simple.
You come home,
There's no
you leave it at work, and you come home and you put on the TV and you watch Netflix, and there's no more stress
exactly,
because you've got
exactly.
work and home. Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, and you work at home, that's
There's
crazy
no
because
exactly. You can't
nobody's your
separate.
boss. Like you don't have somebody saying you got to start at this time and finish at this time. Like you could end up working, like I was saying before, like 20 hours and then sleep for 2 days and then work for 2 days and then sleep for 2 days. Like you have to find your own
Exactly.
balance points when you're working for yourself as well. That's something that I've sort of that's something that I've worked through is finding my own balance points because I've been working from home for 2 years, but I haven't been running an agency. All I did was create a job for myself as a freelancer. So now I'm going to be actually running a business, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's that step like because I did want that laptop lifestyle and I did actually create that for myself. Like of course I've been working in a house. I live in a house and I have a desktop and not a laptop. But I've got the laptop lifestyle. I could sell all my shit and move overseas and work on a laptop if I really wanted to. Like right now.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, I'm not 100% sure that I've actually got it to a point that's sustainable. Because if, like, Fiverr or Freelancer.com or any of those dudes decide to turn off my account for some reason because I breached their terms of service,
Then
then
you're pretty much
I'm fucked,
fucked.
bro. Like, that's it. Like, so I've got to create a business of my own. I've got to create my own terms of service, my own refund policy, my own shit so that my customers are my customers and I can deal with my customers. Not have Fiverr tell me, oh, hey, we're refunding so and so because they put in a complaint about your video and they just give their money back. No questions asked.
Exactly.
That's pretty shit. um, but yeah, so did you like when you started? You said you did actually get into drop shipping and MLM and a couple of other things. How did you actually find those other business models, and how long were you doing those for? And sort of what made you decide SMMA over everything else?
The longevity
Yeah.
really. Put it this way, right?
Hmm.
In order for me, let's just use $10,000, right?
Yep.
Because that's like the magic number. Even though it's like, I don't know, it's $10,000 is a lot of money,
Yeah.
but
But it's
when
also
you
like kind of not, hey, because everybody, pretty much everybody, makes at least $10,000 a year. So they know
Mhm.
and 10K a year, man, that's pretty bare minimum as well. Like the average wage is around $50,000 a year. That's for somebody who's like
Mhm.
working in a job. Um, so yeah, people can get their head around like if they're a full time worker, that's about 3 or 4 months worth of income, $10,000. If they're like
Exactly.
a welfare, someone who just sits around on Centrelink over here, it's called Centrelink. Over you guys call it welfare. But if they're just getting
Hmm.
that, that's like $10,000 a year. So that's their yearly income. It's a number that's
Exactly.
like it's like whoa, that's big. But it's also fathomable enough that like yeah, I could see how somebody could make $10,000 in 1 month if they tried hard
Exactly.
enough, if they
I mean, if
pushed.
you look at $10,000, like like if you look at 10,000, like if I've held that that amount of money in my hand, you know what I
True.
mean? And if you look at it, it's like it looks like it's not a lot of money, right? So
Yep.
it's easy to fathom, like, okay, well, $10,000 a month, that's only blah 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 per day,
Yep.
and then you know what I mean. So that's why a lot of people they recommend, when you start to make money, go and take out $1,000, go and take out 5,000, 10,000, $20,000, and just hold it in, you know what I mean? Because when you can physically see it,
Mm.
that's when it's like, okay, well, if I can make 20,000, I can make blah blah blah.
Yep.
right? So back to this. So just think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could make a $10,000 in one day with drop shipping and then go broke for the next month,
Yep.
right? Because there's no systems, there's no processes.
Yep.
I could make $10,000 over the course of 3 months and have it residual so that I'm making 10,000 every month.
Yep.
Which is more appealing, right?
Yep.
Obviously, making $10,000 in one day with drop shipping, well, but a lot of people don't really get the difference between like revenue and profit. They don't know how to calculate it. If you make $10,000 revenue in drop shipping, you're probably, depending on the product, only going to profit like 40% of it.
Yeah, 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 and that's exactly it as well. Because well, the product as well as actually running your own Facebook ads
Exactly.
to the dropshipping store, you're probably only really profiting about 20% of your revenue.
Exactly. Let's say the average percentage of like net, like what you actually profit out of your revenue is with e-commerce, especially drop shipping, is between, like you were saying, it's between 20 and 40% on average, 40%,
Yep.
which is ridiculous because my profits are like 85 to 90% because I don't.
Yep.
The biggest expense in SMMA is software by far.
Yep, yep, yep. And that's what I've noticed as well. Because I'm starting from $0. I'm trying to look for all this fucking automation stuff for free. I'm trying to
Mm.
look for CRMs that are free that can integrate into Facebook ads and like all of this stuff. Like, so until I can actually get a client that pretty much says yes and puts $1,500 in my account, then at that point I'll be able to go and actually buy all of this software to get it working and to get it up and running. Um, but at this point, to actually pick it up off the ground with no money is pretty
Mhm.
difficult, and that's why I've been thinking
Definitely. Oh,
maybe I
100%.
need a job for 2 months just to go and make $4,000 just to set this up properly, and maybe even run a couple of ads to myself. But yeah,
I can tell you this. I, I can pretty much guarantee that I could take an agency from 0 to 10K per month in less than 6 months if
well,
if there was capital to start on.
yep,
I can pretty much guarantee if anyone wants to pay like, hey, here's $6,000. I'm gonna give you $6,000 to grow my agency to 10K per month within the next 6 months. No problem. That's easy. We identify the market and we just run an ad. If you can run Facebook ads, you never need to work for anyone else. I can run an ad and I can have, higher ticket. So let's say like estate agents or real estate agents, right? We can run ads to them or to gym owners or to whoever, right?
mm-hmm,
And then just have all of those leads come to us. And because we ran ads and they came to us, we can set our minimum to $2,000 per month as a minimum.
yep,
Once we get there, let's just say we generate 30 people. Out of 30 people, we close five. We're making 10K per month. So let's just say we generate five this month and five, or let's say we generate 10 leads this month and 10 leads next month and 10 leads the next month. 369. Over the course of like less than six months, we can easily get an agency to 10K per month. No problem.
that's crazy, bro.
So,
Yep.
so capital, you have capital to start estimate made pretty much solid. I guess if you have capital in any online business and have prior marketing experience, making money is easy.
Yep. Yep.
You know, it's just all about how do I start for free and then get to a place where I have capital.
That makes sense, bro.
And
That's
you gotta
really cool.
think, all these bigger people, they aren't cold calling, they aren't sending cold emails. They have ads running, they have automation.
Yeah, they're buying assets to give to their clients. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them don't even run their own ads, and they have a team of marketers to do that for them
Oh
as
my
well.
God, bro! There's agency owners who I know who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Profit margins are about like 70%, which is insane.
Wow.
And they don't do anything. They work like 4 hours a week. They
What?
they they do team meetings and client discovery calls or their sales. And even the sales calls, they usually have people to take care of the sales calls for them. So what they're really doing is, okay, well, we're putting out any fires is what they call it. So an employee has a problem, or not an employee, if a customer has a problem, right?
Yep.
That customer never is supposed to go straight from their problem to you.
Yep.
Never. It's never supposed to be like that. It goes from the customer to an employee, from the employee to you.
Yep.
That employee or assistant or whatever that he or she, whatever their job is needs to be to mediate everything.
Hmm.
You are basically running the agency. If you have a problem or if there are any fires, I'll put those out. But after that, I mean, your job is to make sure that everything is running smoothly.
Yep.
You know,
That makes sense, bro. So yeah, I'm basically the overseer. So I've got people who are working for me, who I trained to do the actual work, and if they don't do the work properly, it's my job to put out those little fires and then just get it back on track, and then it keeps going on its own from there again. So
put
then
out the fire and then it starts to roll again.
so then all I'm doing all week is troubleshooting the systems that I've already created. That's amazing, bro.
You
So, at this point, you're not hiring people to do ads or sales, are you? So you're doing your own sales and you're creating the ads as well.
Oh, and I have a VA now. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because you're able to scale once you get to six figures, you can't you could, no, probably not, you definitely could, but it's a huge time chunk.
Yep.
So yeah, you get to six figures, it's kind of like it's outsourced, and
Hmm.
then now I'm focusing more towards coaching and training.
Yep. Yep. Of course, man. Yep. Because that's a higher ticket price again. And even doing joint venture deals where you're getting a commission off your coaching clients and stuff like that. Like it
Exactly.
depends. It depends how much you're doing for them and how much you're just teaching them. Um.
Exactly. So like right now, I got a deal going through. It's going to be an $8,000 consulting deal. And so what's going to happen is that person's going to pay for my travel expenses. That's plane and hotel,
Mhm.
right? Literally, he's going to pay me $4,000 to go to two of his offices. So one's in Atlanta, in the U.S., and one's in Philadelphia. So he's going to pay for each one of those. I charge them 4K per office. Literally, once I get that money and I do that call, after that, him and I are, if we want to, we can continue a business relationship, but there's nothing holding me to that company anymore, you
Yep.
know? But then there also are companies where it's like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to do a consultation plus a funnel build out. We're going to do a consultation discounted because after the consultation, you're going to sign on as a client with me, right?
Yep.
So 4K for consulting, 2K per month retainer. You know what I mean? So it all depends on what you're providing.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So have you got just one VA or have you got a team of people?
One view.
Just one? And you find that's enough actually to even get all the way up to six figures, so you make more than 100K a year, of course. Having 10K a month
Mm-hmm.
is 120K a year.
Definitely,
And you find
definitely.
that one VA is enough to actually
Well,
make
yeah,
that
definitely.
smooth enough. Like you're not stressing about fuck I'm working way too much or anything like that at all, are
Hell,
you?
hell no, bro. Look, realistically, let's be honest. Scale to six figures per year. You need to make $8,333.33, or some number like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You could sign one client for that amount of money. You're making six figures per year from one client.
Fuck. You could
You got
actually, hey.
to you got to think like real, and then so now you're managing six figures for one person, dog. Literally six figures from one customer.
Yep, yep. That's big. That's big time stuff, man. And
Yeah, they
that's
call those whales.
that's very established businesses. It'd be hard to sort of get a foot in the door there, but it's not impossible. Hey,
Look, realistically, a decent car dealership could afford that.
true. Yeah.
Honestly, I would not a decent. I would say a car dealership with 50. Yeah, I would say a well-established car dealership would be able to most likely swing 8K per month. Because you got to think, how much does the average car go for?
Yep.
Let me look it up actually.
Yeah, average profit on a car sale.
Right. Average car, $34,000.
What?
Yeah, it says
So
the average car price now tops over $34,000. So that's if you were to just buy a car, but then you have stuff like leasing and stuff like that, where you can pay 300 something dollars a month or
mhm.
whatever per
Mhm.
month over the course of time paid off. But if you were to buy a new car, that's $34,000. So if I were to
Well, I
tell you,
think
hey,
even
look,
if they lease a car, it's still a contract. It's still the contract for 34,000. They're just on a payment plan, so that's still
exactly,
actually a $34,000 sale. It's just that they're
exactly,
not getting it all at once, but they're still actually
right,
making
and
that
then
money.
exactly, and then when you do leasing, a lot of people don't know because they don't teach us in school. When people lease, they typically end up paying more than the initial price. So the
Hmm.
average car could be $34,000, but if you lease it, you can end up spending $40,000,
Yeah, that's
depending on
true
how
as well.
much.
Yeah, yeah, because
Exactly.
they're
So,
paying interest or fees or shit like
mhm,
that.
exactly. So
Mm.
think about this: if you were a car dealership owner, and I said, "Hey, look, Joey, you give me $8,000, and I'll make you back $34,000 minimum. You're gonna give me $8,000 every day of the week, right?" Obviously, if I show you, testimonials or case studies, or even if you know, what I mean, to you definitely need case studies and stuff like that to close to like a higher tier deal like that, right?
Yep,
But definitely you can close those type of deals. You know what I
yep.
mean? Credit card, like it's that like $34,000. It's that's a lot of for one. You know what I mean? I know that we can generate a dealership, like let's say like 30 leads. Out of 30 leads, if you were to sell, two of them, I know these are dealership owners. They have experience in sales. So, let's just say that we were able to generate them, 10 leads, and out of 10 leads they close, let's say four,
Hmm.
right?
Oh,
You're gonna have 34,000, which is,
what's your average? So you mostly do real estate. With
yeah.
the leads that you provide them off a personalized, like the Facebook ad is off their own Facebook page,
Mhm.
and so they just call up and say, "Hey, I saw you registered into my Facebook page for an offer. Would you like to chat about it and book it in?" Right? So these leads are like hot as shit leads.
These are
What's sort
people
of
who
like the
are,
closing rate that your clients have been getting? Is it like 1 in 3 like would actually convert into a
um,
sale or?
so put it this way, right? One of my better campaigns was 118 leads in 1 month,
Yeah.
right? Out of those, to be being 100% realistic, over half of them fell off,
Yeah.
right? But out of those, they were able to close 4 to 5 actual deals that month.
Mm-hmm.
They only paid me $1,500, and I just made like what?
Yeah, and they
They
closed
made
five
six
deals at
figures.
$2,000
Yeah,
each. That's nearly 10 times investment.
right. At minimum, we know they made $2,000. So you almost made. You know what I mean? We generated you more than enough, right? You know what I mean? Like it's our service fee is more than is more than justified.
Mm-hmm.
After we get those ads running and stuff. But like with the dealership, we were to close. They were to just close 4 out of 10. That's 136,000. They made six figures, and they only paid me 8 grand.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So
So,
definitely, it's
yeah, yeah. No, I agree, man. Yeah, it's definitely like a lucrative and viable win-win business model. That's for sure. Um, do you find um I had a really good question there. So so nah, it's gone. It's gone. I had a
I
brain
hate
fart as
that.
well. um Yeah, so your leads, like you're obviously getting the whole ad set up. You're getting the leads across. Oh, if we go back to the actual sales pitch, are you guaranteeing that they make a sale out of your
Never,
leads? Never. Yeah, never. So
you never guarantee shit in business. That's called bad business.
yeah, yeah. So how do you put forward the idea that they're gonna make $34,000 off one sale using your leads without actually saying, "I guarantee that it will happen"?
So that's really all about giving them the comfort and knowing that they can cancel this deal whenever they want. Look, what you're signing isn't a contract; it's a service agreement. At any point when you feel like this isn't something you want to do, we can end it, right? What we go through and show them really is just kind of like, hey, look, so, and I like to go into the actual ads manager and, prior to a meeting, and I can't think of what the website is called, but what you can do is you can literally create like a mock-up where
Mm-hmm.
it's an actual Facebook ad, and you can, make it, and then you can, download it so you can show like, hey, this is what the ad would look like if you were to run it, right? What
Yeah.
I do is I go into the back of Facebook, I set the campaign up, and I show where it's like, okay, well, look, we're going to be reaching between, let's say, I don't know, 1,000 to 3,000 people per day with this, right?
Yep.
So our potential reach is 1,000 to $2,000, 2,000 people per day,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then, let's just say that, so let's just say,
So you take them
um,
through the average. So you're like, well, I'll set up this ad for you, and it will get 3,000 people per day to view it, and then you pretty much just go off the average click through rates and the average conversion rates. So you go like average rate might be 5%
exactly.
out of those 3,000 people. 5% would be um, maybe like 150 leads.
Hmm. Right. So
Um,
then we go out of those, and let's just say, out of those, let's just say we were to get 10% of them to actually come in,
yeah,
right? What was the number you said? 250 or something like that? 150 or something like that.
yeah.
So let's say 15 people. Let's say hypothetically 15 people.
Mm-hmm.
10% of whatever the number was. So let's just say it was 10 people.
Yeah.
Out of 10 people, if I were to send you 10 these are people all these people just got filtered out. We're down to our last 10. If I
Oh,
were to
so do
send
you
you,
find, sorry,
go
out of like 150 leads, obviously not all of those are going to answer the phone. So are you finding that like only out of 150 leads, they actually only end up contacting 10 and then closing maybe 3?
exactly. So out of 150, I'm pretty sure 10% of those is just 15. I'm bad at math, so I don't really.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it's 15 because just take the zero away. So I'm pretty sure it's 15. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But if it was 15, let's say hypothetically 15 people, if I were to send you these are that. Once you get here, these are qualified people. These are people who actually took the time to go through the ad, fill everything out, and they actually got on that call or they called the business, right? It
Yep.
means that they are qualified and ready to go. Obviously, not all of them are going to go through, right?
Yep.
But if I want to send you 15 warm and ready leads, out of those, how many do you think you could close? Is what I would tell them. Like how many do you think, if I were to send your
Um,
sales team 15 leads, right? These are your
yep.
guys. These are the people you hired to make deals and make you more money.
Yep.
If I were to send them 15 qualified people who are ready to go, how many do you think they could close?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then they would say something along the lines of, well, if you were to send us, 15 qualified people, I would like to thank my sales team to close all 15. But being realistic, they may only close 4 or 5.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's just say that you make, let's just say, $3,000 minimum from each one of those 4 people,
Yep. Then
right?
that's boom, $15,000. Yep.
Exactly. And
Ah,
what's
so
my service
but
fee?
you're
Eight thousand
leaving them
dollars.
to piece it together. Like you actually said, let's just say we make $3,000 per sale. You let them actually calculate in their head what the total is going to be, so they're piecing it
And they're like,
together.
holy shit, $15,000,
Yeah.
and I only got to pay you 1,500. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, of course they would do it. You wouldn't walk into it. I would just, if someone walked up to me, not someone just randomly, if someone presented something to me, they say, "Hey, look, you give me $1,500, and I'll make you back 15 grand." I'm gonna say, "Here's $3,000. Make me back $30,000 or something like, you know what I mean? Who wouldn't do that? That's, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Who wouldn't do it?
Yep. So you're guiding them through a conversation where um they're sort of closing themselves, but they're also sort of
That's the
not.
thing, bro. The whole thing is I'm never gonna beg you for business. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present the facts to you, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
let you come to terms with each one of those things yourself, right? If I were to bring you 15 leads, how many do you think you could close?
Yep.
Or how many do you think your sales team can close? Because then it gives them a certain confidence, like, well, if you can bring us 15 qualified people, my sales team is really good, so we're gonna close, 15% of those, 50% of those guys, or whatever, and then you know what I mean? So the whole time it's like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just giving you the numbers. You piece them together. Here's a calculator. You do the math.
Yep.
Yeah, that equals $15,000, right? What was your service fee again? My service fee was $1,500, or my
Mhm.
service fee was $2,000. At
Mhm.
that point, we can say our service fee is anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000. Let's just say $2,500. Yeah,
Yep.
our service fee was $2,500. So you know what I mean? Does this make sense to you?
Yep.
Are these numbers making sense?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I can really go through and I can break this down, go through this really big number of let's say 100 leads, right?
Mhm.
I can see how they can all get filtered down to the last couple, and then how, closing those, what, the percentage of what my guys close, we're going to generate this amount of money, you're only charging us this. This is all making sense. Why wouldn't we do it? Okay, let's go. Let's move forward.
All right. Yep. Yep. And at that point, that's when do you send a contract, or how do you get them to
So
on
after that
board?
initial conversation, after I say that, I shut up and I let them close themselves, right? So then when they're like, okay, well, yeah, let's do it. The next step is, all right, awesome. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna send you two things. I'm gonna send you a invoice for $1,500. You're gonna take care of that invoice. After you take care of that invoice, I'm gonna send you our service agreement. Once we go through that service agreement, we're going to um, we're both sign it, and then we're gonna go from then you and I are gonna schedule a discovery meeting or setup meeting, excuse me.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna go and we're gonna get everything we need for the ads. We're gonna get signed into your ads manager. We're gonna get everything we need, pictures, just everything, access to all the accounts, and then within the next week, we're gonna actually get ads up and running.
Yep. Yep.
Or you
And
can
so
have
so
them at
you
the
have
front.
that first setup meeting, like where
Mhm.
you actually get access to their ad account. You've already gotten paid. I'm a little bit iffy about getting them to pay before they sign the contract, because my objection would be, well, like I'd want to read that before I pay the invoice.
Oh,
Like,
definitely. Yeah, that's just how I structure, how I do mine, right? And I've had things
so
where they like, hey, can we go to the contract first? The contract's
it just
bullet points.
it just depends on the client, because once they sign the contract, they have to pay the invoice anyway. And once
Exactly.
they pay the invoice, then they're out of money, so they might as well sign the contract. So it kind of just depends on the client. Hey.
Exactly. So I have people, hey,
Yep.
let's go. My contracts are pretty simple. It's literally type,
Yep.
like service.
Yep.
Time Media is going to provide blah blah blah, whatever company, you know, in digital marketing, in
Mhm.
Facebook or whatever. I can't think what it says. I don't even read it anymore, but stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And then they sign. So you're going to pay me regardless. You can take care of the payment now. That's nuance. That's the boring part.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then we go in contract, then we set up the setup meeting, and then from the setup meeting, that's when we get access to everything. And then within the next, 3 to 4 days, we're gonna start actually getting the ads up and running.
And would you do that first setup call, on the sales call if they're super keen? Would you just close them and take them all the way through an onboarding
It depends
setup?
on how much they're paying me. If it's a $1,500 deal, no, we're gonna set this discovery call up for another time unless I actually feel like taking care of that now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? If
Yep.
I don't, if I'm busy, let's just do it on this. But if you're paying me, $6,000 per month, oh yeah, well, we can do it now. We can take care of all this stuff now because I want to get you that return on ad spend or that return on that ROI
Yeah. Yeah.
as
Like
fast as possible.
ASAP. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's really cool. So, do you have a website or anything like that, bro?
No, I used to have two funnels run as my website. I had a one for the agency and I had one for my training business.
Yep.
But they took them both down because they weren't actually generating many leads.
Yep. And
And also because I wasn't driving traffic for them. The whole point of a funnel is to have traffic always being driven to those.
yeah, yeah. Um, did you do a course on this, or did you just figure it all out yourself?
Um, oh, did I spend a shit ton of money on courses?
Yeah.
I spent a shit ton of money on courses. I bought a. Are you familiar with Dan Locke?
Dan Locke. I've heard of his name. I've seen it
Yeah,
around, but I haven't looked into him.
he's a really good closer, and he has this like $5,000 high ticket closure course.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked that course up. I picked up Iman Gadzhi's six figure SMMA for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Always for course. I don't want to knock these course creators because they are good at what they do.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
really just don't like courses. I like one-on-one conversation. I like
Yeah.
being able to go and ask you like, hey, you just said that or you just taught me that. Can I ask you a question about it? You know what I mean? I like it to be where I'm able to talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
um, directly.
Yep.
That's the best way to know.
Oh, definitely, bro. Yeah, definitely. Did you get the Choose Pristine course by any chance?
I know those guys.
Mm.
So I talked to Quentin on the phone like once or twice.
Really?
Um, yeah, and we talked about the course and everything, and it wasn't my cup of tea. It was
Uh-huh.
it was I was past the information, if that makes sense. You know,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So it's like really basic.
exactly. It's literally to take a beginner from zero to where they
10K.
are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whereas you're already at 10K, you wanna clock over to like, 7 figures or something like that. You need to go to Ty Lopez.
Mhm. And then even Ty Lopez, I don't like any of his SMMA. Ty, and I can say this confidently that he bullshitted that course. And he knows he did too, and that's the shitty part because it was like
Yep,
$1,000.
yep, yep,
Ty
yep.
Lopez, oh, yeah, he bullshit that course. It wasn't good,
Bro, it's the
and it
same.
was, it
Like
was
he only ever got famous because he hired a Lamborghini and made a YouTube ad with a
right.
Lambo in it.
The thing about Ty Lopez is that he's good at what he does, right? He
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
he's generating like what like $100,000 a day
yeah,
in
yeah.
revenue. But the
But you
thing
don't think he's actually
about
good at
it,
teaching?
right? The thing about it is that he's good business. It's just if me and Ty Lopez were to ever do business, it would never be in anything other than personal brand stuff, social media growth, or real estate. Other than that, Ty Lopez is he pretty much. If anyone who's taken the course would know the information he gives in the SMA courses are like, they're kind of bullshit. And
True.
I took one of the courses where he wasn't even in the course; he had another guy filming it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He had another guy film like being the host of that entire course.
Yep.
Tyler Benz is very good at real estate, and he's very good at getting attention and keeping attention.
Mm.
But I just don't like his insight on actual SMRA.
Yep. No, that makes sense, bro. Yeah, cool. You've obviously gone and you've done courses that I haven't heard of before, and I'm getting marketed. Choose Pristine is the best course that I've ever seen for doing stuff like this. And like
Mm-hmm.
pretty well, pretty well. If I had $1,000 or it's 500 now, like I would just drop it straight away, man, and be getting all of this information like straight from those guys. But
Yeah.
so far, like I've just been on their YouTube. Like I've been on a couple of other SMMA guys that cruise around YouTube as well. I think there's one actually. It's called Six Figure SMMA, something or other. And
That's Iman Gadzhi's is six figure SMA.
oh, the one that he runs a Facebook group as well as a YouTube channel, and you've got
Mm-hmm.
his high ticket sales course. Is that right?
I guess I got this SMMA course.
Oh, right. And then
It was definitely cause that's the course that Quentin and Yovan took to get to where they are. I don't know if
right.
you know that there was a video of them when they very first started their business and they hit that 10K per month. And they made their very first 10K per month. The guy Iman Gaji, they Quentin Yovan, they came out to London and they did the interview with him. Um,
Oh.
yeah,
So they're actually E-Man's case study, or like one of.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I might have to actually get like the link off this guy's course then, because if that's $1,000, and I might as well go to the guys that Choose Pristine was learning off. Hey.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, um, pretty much. How do I make money, bro? Nah, fuck. Like, man, there's so many different pieces that all come together to create this system. To like, it's like these little cogs, these little wheels in the machine. That if you can put them in the right spot and get them to all affect each other in the right way, it's literally like a money machine. Hey,
Exactly. And
so
I call it business osmosis, right? It's
okay,
if you're able to get your company into a position where it's comfortable,
mm,
where things are just like the body, when the body like not natural osmosis. If we're too hot, our body's gonna make us cool down,
yeah,
and it's gonna get to the point where we're comfortable, where we're okay, where things are good.
mm-hmm,
You need to get your business into that business osmosis place before you ever even think to go and to scale past it, right?
yeah,
So you start with the systems, these cold calling and these emails, you banging them out, right?
mm-hmm,
Getting your first couple clients won't be an issue if you're putting in the work every day. And majority of people who talk about never seeing your results, I guarantee those people maybe cold called for maybe a week straight. They didn't go into that second week hitting those cold calls. They didn't go into that third week hitting those cold calls or those cold emails or that LinkedIn outreach, right? I can guarantee it.
yeah,
If you send out 100 personalized emails over the course of a month, I guarantee you'll get at least two meetings,
mm-hmm,
at least two.
yep,
You
yep,
know what I mean? So it's just all about getting to that okay spot. And
mm-hmm.
then once you go there, scaling is just as simple as just rinse and repeat it.
Yep, yep, yep. That's exactly it. Yep. Just get it to work once and then do that over and over again. Um, um, so you find that, um, how do you actually book your appointments? Are you just going straight through Facebook phone call like what you're doing with me?
Yeah, it's usually it could go one of two ways. You could send them a calendar, hey, book your call. But it's like, hey, so we'll move that, so if you're in a cold call, right, it would just be like, hey, so I'm gonna kind of call you, blah blah blah, Tuesday at noon at 12 o'clock.
Right, yeah. So you just so if it's a cold call, and you're just gaining interest and then booking the appointment, then you set the appointment for them and say I'll give you a call tomorrow at 2.
Exactly. I tell them, okay, so do me a favor, take out your phone or a calculator,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and just book in our call.
Yep,
Just that way neither one of us forgets.
yep,
Um, Within Facebook, you can go and do stuff, and you can literally set a reminder, and then each person can click going, and then
yep,
it'll remind you.
yep, yep,
Uh, you do a cold email, you go back and forth and say, hey, so wouldn't be a good time, blah, 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 Tuesday, whatever, whatever. You can just go based off of that, or you can send them a calendar.
mm-hmm.
Free calendar to use, Calendly, just go through, do that one.
Yep,
Just have them book the call there.
yep, yep. And Calendly's, I only just found that one actually because I just signed on to a mindset coach, so I reached out to him and I offered him a deal of, and it was so funny, man. It was so like synchronicity as well. I offered him a deal of some video production in exchange for 6 one-on-one coaching sessions, as well as his 14-week mindset program, which
Mm-hmm.
is basically it's called the Freedom Lifestyle Program. And but yeah, it's all about mindset, like balancing your masculine and feminine energies, and just like a lot of the sort of woo woo stuff that kind of does come with
Yeah,
this. But like we were talking about, that is what is needed, because if you're sitting there grinding away, like, oh, I fucking hate this, but I'm doing it anyway because I need to make money, then eventually you're gonna die. right? Like so
Exactly.
I'm doing this like 3 month program with, his name is Andrew Pierce. I'll send you some of his stuff, man. It's really, really good from just for your mental health even. Um but yeah, so I offered him like $4,000 worth of video production for his $4,000 coaching course. So that one's going to be really, really good. But he uses Calendly to book me in, and he also uses Hello Sign. Have you heard of Hello
Mhm.
Sign?
Now, I've only ever used once Hub and Calendly.
Okay, what's Once Hub?
So it's basically the same thing, except I can integrate a survey type of thing where I can go through and have people answer a bunch of questions. So
Yep,
if I was selling like a higher ticket consultant or coaching deal, and I want people who make X amount or whatever, I have my ideal avatar. It's somebody who runs an agency who is making 10K per month and is looking to scale to 50 or however, I can go through like, hey, so, what's your revenue looking like this or for the last 6 months? What's your monthly revenue? And you go through a click, and it just basically is a habit. And then pretty much it's just like any other calendar. I just pay $20 a month for it. I just like it because of I'm able to integrate like I can accept payments through it. So if people go through right and I set the questions up and I have certain answers that I like, if those people qualify at the end of that survey, they're taken to a place where they can pay to jump into the program, right? If they want to go, like if they do that, I don't usually do that. I like to get on the call, do it, and I like to close them over the phone. I can also integrate like Zapier and just stuff like that. So people go through, right? They go through the whatever and they book the call. That call is immediately put into my CRM system, and
yep,
then from there, I'm able to have all of my leads just there.
yep. That's really cool, man. Yeah, so you use Calendly to book in the appointment. You use Zapier for the lead automation.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
um,
just keep everything organized.
and so your contract, that's just like a PDF document or something, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's a Google Doc, and then what I do is if it's like an over the phone deal,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go to like DocuSign, and I'm going to upload that file. So that, yeah, like you said, the PDF. I'm gonna upload that PDF for my desktop onto DocuSign,
Yep.
and I just add the signature box to the bottom of it,
Yep. Yep.
and
And they
then
can
I
just
just
click it. They can just, it's like a one click to sign it. Yeah. 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 So so you send, and what do you use for invoicing? You just send out like a PDF invoice as well.
Yeah, but I just need a Stripe payment, like invoice.
Okay, yep. So you just log into your Stripe dashboard and actually create an invoice inside there and type in all of their information on the phone.
Oh, for like an actual like agency client?
Oh no,
Or
for an
like
SMMA client.
right, okay, cool. So with that I have packages.
Yep.
And I just and so on Stripe you can set up packages. So I have like a $1,500 package,
Mhm.
$2,500 package, and it's set so that anyway. So if I were to add you onto there, right, I would just add that package to your invoice, and then once you pay, it's you agreeing that every 30 days you're gonna get bills for that exact amount.
Yep. So do you get them to pay their invoice via Visa, like Visa Mastercard? Like,
Yeah, whatever they can use, credit card, Visa, whatever.
yep, yep, yep. So and so you set it up through Stripe as a proper subscription, and you bill them on the sales call for the first
Yeah,
one, and then it's
yeah. I
monthly
never
renewing.
leave a call. Exactly. I never leave a. I always close on the phone.
Always, yeah, wow. So
Always.
so anytime like you pretty well get an appointment, you lead them through the conversation that we had, which is actually it's actually question based. So you're asking them
Mhm.
questions about their business, getting them to close themselves, and then all you're doing is actually taking them through, this is what needs to happen in order for me to start the work that we just said we're gonna do for you. So
Right.
that all makes sense to you, and you're happy, and you feel like it's something that you want to go ahead with, and that is going to work for your business. In order for us to get started, there's a 3-step process. Step 1 is invoice. Step 2 is the contract, and step 3 is fill out this onboarding form, upload your logo, upload your any sort of pictures or assets that you want to be included in the ad, and then I can use all of your assets to then create the ads, and of course like get access to their ad account and stuff as step 3 as well.
Exactly. So
So
it's all onboarding. Yep.
yep. So then that 3-step onboarding phase is not, hi, give me your money. It's actually, this is the steps that we need to take in order to give you the 100 leads per month, like we agreed.
Right. Like, look, I've been doing this for so long that I know the flow.
Yep.
Right. Just like in your business, you know the fastest route in order to get to the result that you want to get to.
Yep.
So, this is just what I've seen. This is just as what works better for our company and for us to get to bring on new business.
Yep.
It just flows better this way.
Yep. That's awesome, man. Yep. So actually even saying that, like, hey, I've been doing this for a long time, and the fastest way for us to get started for you so that you can start closing more deals is 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and are you at a computer right now? Yes. Go ahead and open up your browser. I'm going to send you this thing, and then you start doing it.
I say go to your email, open your email. You're going to be getting an invoice from Time Media. Go ahead and take care of that right while we're on the phone. While you're taking care of that, I'm going to set up I'm going to set up my onboarding system, and we're going to take care of that as soon as we're finished.
Yep. That's awesome, man. And like, so even while they're paying that invoice, you could be requesting access to their Facebook page and shit.
Right. Well, I usually do that in the onboarding. So that whole initial phone call is for me to get my money, and then after that, then it's okay. So look, we're gonna set up this next call, and this next call. That's so we're gonna get access to everything. So what I need you to do to make this go by faster is we're going to schedule this call for the day after whatever the day is. So it's Saturday, it's Sunday for me. So I would say what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule this call for the 1st.
Yep.
Right. So what I need you to do tomorrow is I'm going to send this to your email. You're going to have to go to this checklist. I'm going to need your logos. I'm going to need, whatever content you want to be posted. I'm going to need access to these accounts. So fill out, here, username, password, stuff like that. And then when we get on the call, it's going to be as simple as you giving me that information, me going and logging in, taking care of all that stuff, saving all of your content, and then from there, now we're going to start doing business. Yep.
That's really, really cool, man. So so then it becomes not about you at all, ever, throughout the entire thing, even though you're getting them to put money into your account, even though like you're closing a contract, it's never about you. And that's what's really fascinating to me.
Exactly. It's all about what's the most convenient way that's not going to piss you off to go from you giving me money to me making you money.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, not every company, but a lot of companies, they're going to be kind of weird about like, okay, well, I just gave him $1,500, so like I'm kind of on edge about it.
Yep.
So let's just take away all the pressure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And let's just take a step back and let's just do things in a way that is going to make everything run smoother.
Yep. That's awesome, bro. That's pretty much like exactly what I needed to hear to actually start, because like I was saying, I've got a couple of appointments that are coming up that I've just yet to book in. Like they've said, yes, let's do it. Here's my phone number. And I'm yet to just like give them a text message and say, hey, when's a good time for a call?
Don't wait. Go ahead and do it as soon as possible today. Because I know it's early for you. So go ahead and just do it.
Yeah. So that's amazing, man. Like all of that stuff that you've said is that's pretty much like what I've done so far. Like I've got HelloSign, which is the same as DocuSign. But it's got like a free plan that gives you 5 contracts. It gives you 5 signatures per month for free. So, but once I make the first
That's
one,
pretty
bro, then
stupid.
I'm all good anyway, right? So
Exactly.
I just need to get one. Um, and yeah, like that information that you've given me so far, bro, has been so valuable. And I know that like it's already been an hour and a half or more. So I'm like a bit, just like cautious of your time as well. Like what's the go? Are you happy to like keep chatting, or are you wanting to go work, or
I'm probably gonna head out in a little bit
yeah,
for
you're
the
all
night.
good.
I've really taken a break, from work in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, we can definitely set up another call if you want, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, I know that like you're actually pretty well coaching me. Like, obviously, we had a good chat about all of the other sort of stuff as well. But there's a lot of sort of like you've been coaching me throughout this call
Mhm.
too. Um, so yeah, like, man, when she gets rolling, like, of course, like I can't promise that it will, but you know for a fact, bro, that I'm not a piece of shit. Like, I'm actually definitely trying to get this to work, and and yeah, you're like, man, even there's so many people on Facebook that are like, yeah, I'm doing this, and yeah, I'm doing that, and yeah, I'm doing this, but you're the only kid posting on there. This is exactly what I did and why it worked. And I was just like,
Exactly.
what the fuck? Like, why is this 18-year-old kid from overseas making 10 grand a month? And I've been trying to do this for 5 years and I haven't been able to crack the code yet. I'm like, man, I'm that close. I'm that fucking close, bro.
I mean, you are. It's really just not. It's not even your fault, honestly.
It's
It's not even a
overloaded.
lack of information. It's a lack of good information.
Yeah, yeah, it's an overload of like just bullshit information that's out there on the internet. It's like how to make money, how to make $1,000 in 1 week online, and it's like
Exactly.
go fill out surveys for 50 cents. It's like no, man, that's not gonna make me $5, Marat. Like what?
Exactly. Like I don't like doing smaller things. Like yeah, I could definitely go sell, however many people something to make $100 a day,
Yeah, like
or I
affiliate
can
marketing.
right.
Yep,
You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Let's make as much money as possible. Let's turn our bank accounts from zero to $5,000 as fast as possible.
yep, and
You know what I
and
mean?
yep.
So
You got to have a really valuable product, and man, leads like you were saying, like, and getting them to close themselves in that way, your product
mhm,
becomes any value point. It depends on your client. That's how
exactly,
valuable your product is, and so
exactly. That's why I like pay. That's why I do payment plans because there's no you can't do that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um,
If I tell you I'm going to bring you 20 leads, see how many can you close, and you confidently say all of them, I know that we both know how much money that's worth. If you were to say all of them, I'm going to stop you there and say that's not realistic. Let's just say you close out of 26. How much is that worth? Boom, whatever. Let's say $100,000. Okay. If I was to say my service fee for doing this is $2,000 every month, you're gonna say, well, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, really, that's all? I would think it'd be more.
yep.
You know?
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's so valuable. Just that information, just even to actually chat with somebody who's already done it before and who is now sitting there really comfortable and confident. And like you said, you're not begging for people to work for you, like I have been. And like it's amazing to see where you've taken this in the short amount of time that you have, and even just at your age, bro, like what you're doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, just you're a huge motivation for me, and hopefully I can get things rolling and start maybe giving you some of the pie once it starts coming in for just to say thanks for actually providing this free information to me and giving me your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
appreciate
honestly,
it
I
so
just
much,
think
man.
just stop, take a step back and just look at your business and see if it's something that you're proud of. Even if you're not
Yep,
making any money,
yep,
do you have it set up in a way that you're proud of? Because
yep,
if not, change it, fix it, and then start again.
yep,
You
yep,
can't build a house without foundation. You can't start a business without having foundation.
yep,
You know what I mean?
yep. So it's like
So
get
that's
all
what
of
I'm thinking
the
about.
get all of the contracts, get all my Stripe and all of the packages set up
Get
so
all
that
that basic stuff out of exactly.
yeah, yeah,
You can't build a business without a solid foundation.
yep. Do you offer them the different packages on the phone, or do you select one and just pitch that?
I mean, I select one. I decide like if I know that the company can afford 2,500, I won't even mention it.
Yep, 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 yep. That's exactly it. So you'll just offer them like $1,000 per month thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's so at this point, the I think the very last question that I have is, are my packages actually set up in a way that they would work or not? Because at this point, I've got 900 a month for management with minimum 400 in ad spend. So that's my
So
main
management
package.
just for social media accounts.
Sorry.
So is that management like just for social media accounts, like the like growth of social media?
No, that's for leads. Yeah.
Oh hell no, bro! What the hell,
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, bro, is like I'm not actually confident that the package that I've created will generate leads.
bro? You don't charge anything under $1,000. When it comes to actual ad spend, you the way it's going to be priced, you're going to go minimum $300. So a regular 1,000 between 1,000 and 1,500, what the ad spend should look like is anywhere from $300 to $500, right? Then
Yep.
when you get to between 1,500 and like 2,000, that's when it goes from $500 to 1,000, and
Mhm.
then anything up, obviously, you know, 1,000 plus. You know what I mean? You definitely up your service fee.
Yep, yep. So it's
And I'm
about
giving whole numbers, bro. Like or whole numbers, good numbers,
yep, yep.
like 1,000, 1,500. Don't get weird and do like I see people do like $1,200 deals or 1,800. Like nah, bro. Keep it simple.
Yep,
Make the numbers simple. Make the numbers make sense.
yep,
1,500, two clients, that's $3,000, right?
yep,
Two clients, $1,000 per month, $2,000. Really, really simple.
yep, yep, yep. Then I would pitch them. So I'll change my package to a minimum $400 in ad spend,
Mm-hmm. I think
um,
$1,000 service fee.
and a $1,000 service fee. So and then have you done trials before? Do you think the trial
Not a
thing is
trial.
actually worth it, or did you just close your first client and get money, bro?
Free trials realistically hurt you more than they help you because it puts you in a position of it puts them in a position of power over you. And I
Yep,
look at you as an employee, not a business owner. So I
yep,
don't offer free trials anymore. Don't even mention free trials unless there's something where it's like, yeah, okay, this is a free trial, but what this is going to be is you're going to pay me for every lead that I bring you, right? So I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to bring you at least 10 people. So do you have, um, let's say like it's like a gym, right? And I tell them like, so yeah, okay, that's fine. We can do a free trial for this next month, right? Um, you know what I mean? But the way that this is going to work is, uh, the way this is going to work is, you're going to pay me $100 per lead I bring you. I'm going to let you know now that what's going to end up happening is I'm going to bring you about 10 leads plus. That means you're going to end up paying $1,000 anyway. So we can do the free trial. We can beat around the bush, and we can, you just end up paying me $1,000 anyway. Or you and I can start like actually, working together now. Take care of this $1,000 that's just going to end up paying me anyway, and we can start working. And we can have an actual business relationship.
yep, yep, yep. That makes sense, bro. So the pretty much if they ask for it, so you never mention it, but if they actually ask for it, then you're saying, look, I could do that. I could bring you 10 leads, and then once you close the deal, like if they literally don't have $1,000 to spend, they're probably not a business that you want to be working with anyway. Is
Yeah,
that kind of a
exactly,
thing? Right.
exactly.
So, and if they do, but they're just like kind of like a little bit worried about it, and they want to see if it works first, then you say, "Look, I've done this forever. I know for a fact that like if we take you through our workflow and our onboarding process, that will start generating leads within 3 to 4 days once the ad gets turned on." and then pretty much like I'd say like it's around $100 per lead. Like for the type of
Right.
clients that we're working with, it's probably around $100 per lead. So if I was to get $1,000 in ad spend, then they get 10 leads, and then it's plus my management fee as well.
Right.
Would that be like pretty confident? And then from there, from then you ask that question, like out of those 10 leads for $1,000, how many sales do you think that you could make? Or do you
Exactly.
think that your sales team could make? And then just loop the conversation back around to the return on investment that they're making, and then say again, are you ready to start? You know,
Exactly.
is that?
Because once the price, because the price is always the only thing holding a deal back. It's always pricing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Once you get over that hurdle of the price, and once you get the customer to justify that number in their mind,
Oh,
the
then you can
conversation
say,
goes, hmm?
oh, we already established that you're going to be making more than you're paying me. So, like,
Exactly.
we
Because
already
it's no
spoke about
longer
this. Don't
about
be a
money.
dickhead. Like,
Right. It's no longer about money at that point. Their
yep,
biggest objection was money. Once there's no longer anything else to talk about.
yep,
You justified the price. That was the only thing holding you back.
yep. So,
You
and
know
then,
you do marketing, so now it's just like, do you want to work with us, yes or no? At this point, you can justify every reason to work with us, but I'm sure there's a voice in your head telling you not to because of the investment.
hmm
At this point, there's nothing else I can really say. It's all about what are you willing to do now.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
So, and then you find when you put it forward in that way, and you really put the ball in their court. So you, like you said, like you troubleshoot the whole sales call. You handle all their objections, and then you just
Mhm.
put the ball completely in their court, like Quentin and Jovan did, and just say, is this something that you want to go ahead with today, yes or no? And then you just stay
Exactly.
silent. You just wait for them to actually close it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because what's going to happen when you shut up, there's no longer any. You no longer justify yourself at that point. You know what I mean? They're in your minds now,
Yep.
and now there's nothing else you can really do.
hmm
So yeah, just stop talking and let them think. The majority of the time, they're gonna work with you, especially if the service that you guys are talking about was good.
Yep. Oh, that's
And if
crazy, man.
everything else is justified, you're solid.
Wow. Wow. I'm a little bit speechless now myself as well, actually, because like, um, like that open space script that those dudes gave out, like that's actually really, really good at getting appointments. Like,
Mhm.
I could get appointments for days, man, for days, but to actually close an appointment, they didn't give enough information, and even just their YouTube videos of them like, this is a video of us closing a $7,500 deal. It's like a 3 month contract. It's like blah blah blah. But I think like watching it, and because I had a different package, and because like I'm trying to start out a little bit smaller than just 2,500 a month for 3 months. Um, like I wasn't thinking that like I could actually close. I don't know. I've just had trouble with closing, man. But the information that you've given me, and just taking me through the sales call mainly, that's gonna be huge, man. I swear to God, I'll get back to you like next week. I'll have made a sale.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely.
Ad, ad. I need to make it happen pretty soon, man. Otherwise, I'm pretty well jobless at this point. Um, my yeah, Fiverr turned off my video account. I can't actually make sales on any video packages anymore unless I
Yeah, but
went out.
you gotta control your industry. You can't
Yeah,
rely. You definitely got to get into a place where it's like all you rely on is yourself.
yeah, that's it, man. Because I was relying on these leads that were coming through Fiverr and Freelancer and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to abide by their terms of service, which are just like ridiculous. Like like you know, they've got their 30-day refund policy. That
Exactly.
I created a video 20 days ago and completed the order 20 days ago for this person who's already used the video to go back to Fiverr and say, "Oh, it didn't work. I want my money back." Because they weren't putting it into a Facebook ad, they were just posting it, and then they screenshot the post, they say, "Look, this post has been up for 20 days and it's only got 10 likes," and then Fiverr gives their friggin' money back, and I was just like, oh my god, like I need to do something about this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, bro, that's fucking awesome. That's so amazing, like what you're doing. And if you ever wanna just hit me up, like if you're feeling like shit, like fucking, you know, like fuck, I'm in this alone, and any of those sort of thoughts, man, like I'm actually always here to have a chat. Know that, like
Definitely, bro.
you know,
Definitely.
I've been working for home for 2 years, and I don't get welfare at all either. Like I've just been hustling and trying to pay my rent and shit like that. So yeah, like I understand all that stuff. If you're ever at that point, bro, you can always reach out to me.
Definitely, bro. I appreciate it.
All goods, man. All goods, yeah. And being young as well, like fuck, man. I can imagine how there's probably a part of you that just actually does want to drop everything and just go party and you
I
know,
mean, honestly, bro,
be a
I've never
kid
really
sort of
been
thing.
that type to party and stuff. And really, I have a baby due in 5 months. So
Really,
I'm really just,
congratulations,
yeah.
man.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah,
So just being young and making money and not living with my parents and having a child, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of relationship, it's just a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
it does,
yeah.
it does can kind of overwhelm me, but I'm kind of glad that I have this stress over the stress of having to go wake up and go to a job that I hate every day.
Dude, for sure, for sure. That's 200% it. Hey, like, I thought that I was escaping the 9 to 5 by becoming a freelancer, and I ended up just tying myself down. But not only was I working for, well, like, you know, multiple clients, I was working for
Mhm.
myself, but I was alone. I was sitting at home by myself all day, every day, slogging out video editing, and just like, yeah, starts.
It
Even
gets
though
exactly.
that's my dream job. Ever since I was 14, my dream job was to make movies for a living. And I was making these ads, and I was making product videos and brand promotional engagement videos and all kinds of stuff like that. But it turned out that once I got the thing I thought was my dream job, I fucking hated it, bro. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm
Exactly, and you're still young though, which is perfect. We're young, so
yeah,
we can make mistakes now.
yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, I can't really make too many mistakes if I with the baby and everything. But you get what I'm saying. Like majority of people don't have
yep,
kids at 18, so
yep.
if you can make mistakes from 18 to 29 and be solid and have another 70 years, to or 60, 70 years to be perfect.
Yep. Once you actually figure out how all of these systems and stuff work, it's just a matter of keeping up with it. Hey.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep. So it's like, yeah, it's really interesting, man. Like being young, and like the shit that they were teaching us in school had nothing to do with any of this, really. Like besides some really basic maths and like learning how to speak English, the rest of
Exactly.
it, I didn't learn fuck all from school, man. Like I
You
dropped
know
out. Um, like I went and got a diploma in film and television so that I could start working on like the TV channels down here. And
Mhm.
then it turns out like the whole industry is like upside down, and TV and media, like, and even getting a job in the first place is really, really hard. And then once you're in there, it's shit because you're working on somebody else's movie. You're not working on yours. You're working on somebody
You don't
else's
have
vision, somebody else's idea. So
exactly.
yeah, but we're so lucky, man, that you know, like our parents, even my parents, they would have one career in their lifetime, whereas on average, today, somebody who was born in like 2000 or in the 90s will have 5 to 7 different careers in their lifetime.
Exactly.
So
We have opportunities to be better.
yeah, to be way better, and we don't actually need to go out to university or college or whatever to get that education anymore because of how, like if you know where to look, and if you're not just soaking up bullshit information, if you're actually looking in the right places, you can learn anything just sitting in your room, and you could probably learn it faster and better than if you were doing a 4-year course, you know?
No, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty it's, it's not all bad, but it's definitely a tricky one to try and actually get working, hey.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yep. Yep.
It's what it definitely really is, just a process.
Ah, yeah. So I like that, man. Like it's not even something that's hard necessarily. It's just something that's completely new, completely unfamiliar. And then once you figure out the process, then you're all good. You're around it.
Once you figure out how to do, it's like riding a bike. Riding a bike is hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is hard, yeah.
But
Until you
then,
know how to do it, and then you're a sick cunt.
you know what I mean? Exactly. It's
Yeah,
literally
that's awesome, man.
it's like
That's
flying a plane. Flying a plane looks hard as hell to me,
oh yeah,
but to the pilot, it's easy. It's like you just fly the plane.
yep,
You know what I mean? It's just all about getting those processes and those systems down. And once you got them down, they always work.
yep. Oh, that's awesome. Yep, I definitely agree with that, bro. That's super cool.
Mhm. Yeah, bro. Hey, I'm
All
gonna go
right.
take a shower. I just left the gym, but we should definitely talk again at some point soon.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll hit you up on Messenger, maybe tomorrow or something like that, and we'll
Yeah,
book in
definitely
for like
tomorrow.
next week.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah. Thanks so much again for your time, bro. It's been a really good chat, I think.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, cool. I'll stop the recording and I'll go and actually edit this together and just like get rid of the parts where the phone dropped out a couple of times, just so it's all nice
Mm-hmm.
and smooth. I'll send you a copy of this. I'll just put it on YouTube as unlisted.
And then
Um,
send me the link. Yeah.
and then you can even send the link to other people, but it'll be on private unless you send the link to them.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna use this definitely.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, man. All right, super cool.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. Okay. You have a good day.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, you too. Have a good night, and yeah, we'll touch base really soon.
All right. Bye bye.
Peace, bro. Thanks again.
No problem.